Hey everybody, how's it going? JD here, and it's good to be back. So, in the last episode, you may recall that I let you guys know I'd been laid off from my job. I also said I wasn't sure if I'd be able to continue with the Nomifactory series. Well, I put some thought into it, and I decided that the show must go on. So, today, we're going to dive back in with a bit of a multi-block madness kickoff as we knock out Nomifactory Episode 12. So first off, let's talk about what you can expect on the channel going forward. There's definitely going to be some new game footage coming for a game called Project Zomboid. Have you heard of it? I'll be doing a very short 4-episode playthrough before I will suffer a difficult fate. Along with that, there's a new Path of Exile season starting on April the 7th, and I'd really like to be putting up some footage for that, as well as Diablo 4 in June when it releases. I recently played the beta of Diablo 4, and it was pretty fun, to be honest. Now that being said, I am going to try to keep the Nami series going as well, and depending upon how things go, I may have an editor that's going to be helping me out in the future. So I hope you all continue to enjoy the Nami content, as well as the new games that I'll be playing. I'll be putting as much effort as I can into these videos to make sure that they're of high quality. And if you've got recommendations on how I can make the videos even better, by all means, let me know down in the comments. If the videos start doing well enough, maybe this will become my job. And while I highly doubt that, there's always the possibility, right? It is the dream, bro. So, if you are enjoying this series, and you do want me to keep the content coming, make sure you hit that like and sub button. And of course, as I said earlier, leave me a comment and let me know what's going on in your world. Are you playing through Nomifactory? Have you ever played Project Zomboid? And what about Path of Exile or Diablo 4? These are the burning questions that I need to know because I really am interested to know what my community is into. Alright, enough idle chatter. Let's manufacture some multi-blocks. We're getting further and further into our quest lines, and what I would like to start doing today is going to be creating a steam grinder. This was recommended to me by one of the members of the stream by the name of Strange Cart Duck. This multi-block structure is going to take 22 bronze casings, 1 output bus, 1 input bus, 1 steam hatch, and a steam grinder. This beast will give us the power of 5.3 LV macerators running in parallel. The recipes aren't very difficult. The casings are just going to require 6 bronze plates, 1 brick, a hammer, and a wrench. The input and output buses share very similar recipes to one another, requiring a treasure chest and a bronze hull. And the bronze hull is the usual 8 bronze plates around a hammer, which we find throughout Nomifactory when it comes to hulls. For the input and output bus, simply moving the chest is what determines which bus the recipe is for. From here, we're going to look at the steam hatch. This is going to require 6 bronze plates, 2 Greg Tech fluid pipes, and 1 bronze drum. The bronze drum is new and it's going to require 4 bronze plates along with 2 bronze long rods. We put this all together using a hammer. Now, the actual steam grinder block requires bronze machine casings, a diamond, and a new substance called potent, which we're going to be used for gears. I don't know if potent is the correct pronunciation, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it, so if you don't like it, I apologize, but that's the way it's going to be. We're going to need to make a mixture of 6 copper to 2 tin to 1 lead dust, and that will give us back potent dust. Then we can smelt that into ingots. So if we go ahead and mix up the dust right quick. And while I'm not going to show most of the materials that we're going to craft because we've already done a lot of this in the past, the new ones I will at least attempt to show on screen once, as with this potent dust. Alright, so with the potent ingots in hand, we can go ahead and melt them into liquids that will move over to our fluid solidifier. I'll put them into the extractor here, and we've got a gear mold waiting in the fluid solidifier to accept the liquid and create gears for us. So here are our gears, and I'm just waiting on the second one to pop in. There we go. All right. Now with those in hand, we can grab the diamond and all 6 of our bronze machine casings to craft our steam grinder block. That just leaves the steam hatch to complete. For this, I'm going to need 6 bronze plates, the bronze fluid pipes, which really are just more bronze plates, and the bronze drum. Now, like I said earlier, the bronze drum is a new item, And we're going to need to do some long bronze rods for that. So what we'll need to do is put a couple of bronze ingots into our lathe, which will produce bronze rods at 2 per ingot. Then we can take those 4 bronze rods and put them into our forge hammer, which will craft those into 2 total long rods. Sweet. All right, with that done, we are ready to complete our fluid pipes and finally our steam hatch. That's all the components for the steam grinder multi-block. So now that we have everything done, we're going to need to find a good place to set this down. We're also going to need to provide steam to it. So I think what I want to do is set this up near our current steam dynamos. Since they're already providing steam for RF power, we might as well let them provide steam for steam grinder power as well. Being that this is a multi-block structure, we can see the pattern in this menu. Now this is a 3x3 structure with the steam hatch, the input bus, and the output bus able to be positioned in multiple different places. But we're going to place it as it's shown by default. I'll just go ahead and make a walkway through here. And we're going to need some more of this conduit to tie the dynamo into our grinder. So let's go ahead and make some fluid conduit right quick. I'm just going to use regular pressurized fluid conduit this time. I don't need the Ender fluid conduit's throughput at the moment, and frankly, I don't have the materials for it just yet. So for the regular ones, I'm going to need just a little bit of glass and some conduit binder. And now that I have those conduits, let's go ahead and get them hooked up right quick. Now I'm going to go ahead and unequip my magnet and disable the attraction feature on it so that I'm not scooping up tons of sugarcane while I try to hook these conduits up. Now we'll use our Yeta wrench and we can place the conduits down and then connect them together, and this will start running the steam through to the other side where we're going to set the grinder up. 2 more conduits should get us there. All right, let's go ahead and place the steam hatch. There we go. And then we'll hook up the final conduit. Awesome. All right, now. Let's put down our input and output bus. Oops, that's the steam grinder, my bad. Let's go ahead and pick that up using our wrench. I don't know if it's like old Greg Tech where if we use a pickaxe, it'll like break the machine, but I don't want to risk it yet. All right, there we go. Let's try this again. We'll put down all of our bronze machine casings, and I'll need to leave 1 empty block in the middle. Then just the grinder needs to go in place. Awesome. So it's now hooked up and it's ready to go. It's got steam coming in from our dynamos as well, so we have power. We just need to get the input and output bus set up. For that, I'm going to use a hopper and a chest. Now, to be honest, I don't think we need the hopper. I think it will auto-feed just by having the chest, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and have the hopper here. I'll probably end up changing this later, but it works, so let's go ahead and throw some tetrahedrite in here so we can get some copper going. Now, I've really been struggling with copper, to be honest, which is part of why I was mining at the start of the episode. And, well, the idea behind putting this whole thing together is that it's going to allow us to now double our ore output. So 1 copper ore in will give me back 2 crushed in return. With the crush, there's a whole lot of different ways that we could process this. We could use a forge hammer. We can pulverize it to get a chance at some antimony. We could put it into a chemical bath, giving us chances at things like stone dust and cadmium dust. Or we could put it through an ore washing system, which will give us back tiny piles of antimony. There's also the option of putting it through a thermal centrifuge and getting back centrifuged tetrahedrite, as well as some zinc dust and stone dust. I'm very much leaning towards doing a chemical wash and possibly an ore wash, so we'll look into that. For now, We're just going to go ahead and smelt these down because each of these will smelt up into a single ingot. Now, we have effectively doubled our ore. And boys and girls, that makes me a very happy Minecrafter. So let's quickly add some quality of life improvements to this. I'm going to make some more pulsating iron so that we can get our hands on a few more item conduits. The item conduits will allow us to transport items in and out of the steam grinder very easily, as well as move them between additional inventories. So we're just going to need a little bit of pulsating dust and some iron ingots. We can then put these together inside of our alloy smelter. They'll cook right up into pulsating iron. Now let's do that and wait for just a moment for it to complete. And we can grab a few of the ingots that are done now. I should probably turn off this focus search to get rid of this shading. There we go. And we'll put the ingots into our wire mill. This will give us back wires. Now, if we look at the basic recipe for item conduits, it's going to say that we need 3 wires and 6 conduit binder, which will give us back a total of 4 item conduits. So I'm going to go ahead and grab 12 conduit binder for the 6 wires that we have so far, but I'm not going to make them manually. I also probably need to go ahead and get some more conduit binder going as well. So let's do that right quick. All right, to get the item conduits, what I'm going to do is utilize my assembling machine. Because if we make these by hands, like I said, we get 4 per craft, but in the assembling machine, we get 8. So getting double the throughput from our assembly machine when we're crafting conduits is kind of massive. Because at this point in time, pulsating iron is still not cheap for me to make. It will probably become a lot cheaper later, but we're not quite there yet. For now, I'm going to go ahead and take these 16 conduits, and we're going to hook up the chests over here beside our steam grinder to the crate back near the entrance. I'm also for now going to go ahead and hook up the furnaces just to let it pull out the copper that's coming in. But I think in the long run, I'll likely not go directly into the furnaces. There's probably a lot of materials that we're going to be grinding up that we don't necessarily want to go straight into a furnace. For now, I know it's only copper and likely some other base metal ores, and so it'll be fine. All right, let's go ahead and start hooking and unhooking some of these connections. Don't need that one. I do need that one. Whoops, I needed that one. So let me go ahead and put that back. Hang on. All right, let's set that to insert. This one needs to be set to insert again as well and not to extract. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a red channel extraction coming from the crate over at the primary crafting area. And then we'll take that into our input box. So over here at the input box, let's go ahead and set this channel to red. And then we'll set it to insert into this box. And basically now when we put ores into our crate, they'll be inserted into this box, which will then allow them to go directly into the steam grinder, be ground up, and then be sent into the output box. So let's go ahead and set the one right here on the crate to red and make sure that it's set up for extraction. And now everything should be set up and ready to go. There it is. It's working. That's legit, my friends. All right. We have simple ore duplication, semi-automated. We'll have to improve upon this process, but that's still a huge success. It's pulling in the ores and grinding them all up. All right, the last thing I want to look at, because I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet today, is one of our future projects. And that's going to be another major multi-block structure. It's going to be the electric blast furnace. And this is coming up in the next episode for sure. So stay tuned to see me struggle with that. Now this multi-block is a slightly larger undertaking than the steam grinder was, but it's going to open up some significant areas of gameplay for us because right now we're bottlenecked in our progression by not having this. So we'll knock that out next time. That's it for today though, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said earlier, if you are enjoying this series, I'd really appreciate a sub, a like, comment, anything that shows some interaction from you guys helps the channel and it helps me know I'm doing things that you guys enjoy. So let me know. You all take it easy. Laters.